Hello there guys, this is WinClient5270 and today I'm going to be showing you how to transform Windows 7 into Windows Vista. So say you have an install of Windows 7 and you don't like the look, you prefer the Windows Vista look and UI, then this tutorial is for you. Now I made a tutorial on this back in 2015, but in my opinion those videos were not very well edited. And in addition to that, a lot of new things have been found and implemented in the Windows 7 to Vista project. So I've decided to make an update tutorial to include those. So the first thing you'll want to do is download the transformation pack, which I've included a link to in the description. So you just download it here. And after you do that, you want to extract it using whatever extraction software you use. I use 7-zip, so you can use WinRAR or whatever. Doesn't matter. So let's let it extract here. And after that is done, you want to open up the folder that extracted. And the first thing you want to do is install the Vista skin pack. Now this install second option, I'll get to that in just a second, but this is what you want to do is install this one first. And for 64-bit you click on this one. So accept the license terms and go ahead and just do all this. Then you click next, and yes, you want to reboot now. So now you can see it's really starting to look like Windows Vista. Fix the resolution here. Don't know why it's being stubborn. Okay, so after you've done that, you want to go back into this folder again. And now you can install the updated Vista theme. Well, first of all, let me get back to this again. Hold on. This option here, if you want to install this, you can. What it will do is it will allow you to change this image, but for the purposes of this video I'm not going to show that because it's been known to be kind of buggy, and I think an update for Windows 7 breaks it, like there's a future update that breaks it. So for this video I'm not going to show you how to do that. So anyway, so now what you want to do is install the updated Windows Vista theme for Windows 7. This will make your install look a lot more like Windows Vista than this thing can do, because as you can see it is a little bit limited. There are some things that don't quite look like Windows Vista. So what you need to do is just select these, right click and click copy, and double click on the shortcut here for themes, and then paste these here in the themes folder and click yes if it asks you. And then you can double click on arrow 6000. As you can see, the text is now white, and this is much more accurate and looks just like it does in Windows Vista, the real Windows Vista. And you may also notice that the details pane now has the Windows Vista Aurora here, and the taskbar buttons are more refined and they look just like those from Vista. So now, speaking of the taskbar, you can go ahead and just unpin everything from the taskbar if you don't want to use the Windows 7 taskbar, which I don't. You unpin everything, then you right click on the taskbar, click properties, and then select combine when taskbar is full, and then click OK. And now you'll see that it looks just like the Vista taskbar, except for these little animations here. And to get rid of that, like when you hover over an item and it kind of like follows your mouse and it does that little fade in and fade out animation, you can get rid of that. Since Vista doesn't have it, get rid of that by going to the Start menu, right click on Computer, click Properties, go to Advanced System Settings, click on Settings here, and then uncheck Animations in the taskbar and Start menu. And also, for an even more accurate Vista behavior, uncheck Enable Arrow Peek as well, because Vista doesn't have that, so we don't want it. And as you can see now, the taskbar doesn't do that stupid animation. So then you can go ahead and add the Quick Launch toolbar to the taskbar. So you want to right click, go Toolbars, New Toolbar, and you want to type in this path, and I will include it in the description. So your drive letter, in this case it's C, and it usually is. Users, and then your username, in this case it's admin for me, and then Appdata, roaming, Microsoft, Internet Explorer, Quick Launch, and then select folder, unlock the taskbar, right click on Quick Launch here. It should appear to the right here. If you did everything correctly, that will appear. Uncheck Show Text and Show Title, and then you can double click on these dots here to send it over here, and then drag these over to the right, and then there you go. You've got the Quick Launch toolbar just like it was in Windows Vista. So now you can install the Windows Vista branding. So this will make your WinVer dialog look just like it does in Windows Vista. As you can see, it looks like Windows Vista. The Vista skin pack has changed it to look like this, but we can make it look even more like Vista by applying this modification that I included here in this transformation pack. So you just want to go to the Take Ownership folder first. Double click on Install Take Ownership. Yes, yes, okay. And then go to Branding here, and right click on it and click Copy. Then go to Computer and your local disk, wherever Windows 7 is installed, Windows, and then you'll see this branding folder here. And if you ever want to go back to the Windows 7 branding, you'll want to back this folder up. So you can just simply rename it to branding old or whatever, and that will change it. And before you do that, you'll have to take ownership of it. I know I've already done that, so I didn't have to do it again. But then you want to paste the new branding folder in. As you can see now, if we open up the WinVer dialog, it looks just like the Windows Vista WinVer dialog. And if we visit System Properties, you'll notice that the orb has changed. It's slightly different from the one in Windows 7. It looks mostly the same, so you may or may not notice much of a difference. But the one in Vista it's got kind of like a darker shade of blue, so it is a little different. Okay, now you want to go to Customizer God. Go to this folder. Open Customizer God. Now you'll probably get this error, and if you do, you'll want to download Microsoft.NET Framework 4.0, and I'll include the link to that in the description. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so after installing Microsoft.NET Framework 4.0, you should be able to open Customizer God, and I've done that. And if you get a prompt to update the software, just click No, decline the update, because I've kind of noticed that newer versions tend to not work as well, so just use this version because it's tried and tested and it does work well for me. So after you've opened Customizer God, you want to navigate to General Icons and then click on this yellow shield icon and click on Change. And then you want to navigate to the Transformation Pack and then the Customizer God folder. And there's a shield icon that's been provided here for your convenience. Came straight from Windows Vista. So you want to double click on that. And after you've done that, you should notice that you have the Windows Vista shield icons for the user account control hyperlinks here. You'll notice that is now the Vista colored shield. And after that, you want to navigate to Control Panel, Applet Sidebar, and this is where this transformation pack differentiates from the old one in that there are updated image resources here, so it looks much more like Windows Vista and it scales much better than the old one. So you want to navigate to the same folder that you got the shield icon from and double click on Shell Style Panels, and for the left one you want to choose number 632 here, and then for the right one you want to choose number 633. And now this won't take effect until you reboot the computer, and I'll show that next time we have to reboot the virtual machine. But what this will do is it'll change this panel here on the left in System Properties, and any other control panel page that you visit that uses that panel will now look like this one when it's rebooted. And then you want to navigate to Volume Tray Icons, and you can just go to the Volume Icons folder and just replace each of these icons with their corresponding Vista versions. It's pretty simple. And after that, you should be done with Customizer God, I believe. Yes, I think that's all we have to do here. And as you can see now, the volume icon in the notification area is now just like the one from Windows Vista. So now what you want to do is you want to download and install Classic Shell, and I'll include the link to that in the description. So you just want to download and install it. Next, accept the terms. Next, install. Okay, now when you click on your start button, you'll get this prompt here. And what you want to do now is check Replace Start button, click on Custom, and choose Pick Image. And then you want to navigate to your transformation pack that you downloaded, and navigate to Classic Shell Skin, and then double click on the official Windows Vista orb by blah blah blah. Double click on that, and then your orb will look more like the one from Vista. And now what you want to do is just close out of that and click Yes, and go to the transformation pack folder, and you can just get rid of this bar if you want to. It makes it more like Vista to get rid of it. And then open up that Classic Shell Skin folder again, and you want to extract this Vista-like Power Button Fix Rev C. Just extract it. You don't want to use the built-in extraction tool because it complains about file names being too long, so you want to use like 7-zip or WinRAR preferably. So after that, you want to copy the Vista-like Power Button Fix .skin7. Copy that. Go to the local disk, Program Files, Classic Shell, Skins, and paste the Vista skin here. And then after that, you want to copy this Start Menu L10.ini file. You want to paste it into the Classic Shell Program Files folder. Click Yes if it asks you to replace it. And then you want to exit Classic Shell and then reopen it again by going to the Start menu and clicking on the Classic Shell entry here, and just then click on Classic Start Menu Settings, and that will reopen Classic Shell. So as you can see, we have the Start menu here, but it doesn't look so much like Vista, and this is because you need to go to the Skin tab here and then choose the Vista Lock Power Button Fix Rev C, and you can choose the red shutdown button. In Windows Vista, it uses the red shutdown button if your PC doesn't support sleep mode. So if that matches the description of your computer, you can choose red shutdown button, and this is what will appear. Now, do not be fooled by this. This lock icon here is actually just for looks, and it doesn't actually function to lock your computer. It is there solely for authenticity purposes. It's there to look as much like Vista as possible, but it doesn't actually work, and we don't know of any way to get it working right now. So if it bothers you that it's there, and you don't like it being there, as you can see here in the Skin tab, it says Vista Look, no lock function for show. You can click on Standard Icon, and then when you click on the Start button, you'll see it just shows the icon. And you can also choose text with the icon, and that'll show up if you don't like the fake lock button. But for this video, I'm just going to choose the Vista Look. And if you use the Windows Vista Basic theme, like if your PC doesn't support Windows arrows, so for example you have this selected, you can choose the user picture inside and then choose no transparency and blue selection buttons, and you'll have an exact replica of the Windows Vista Basic Start menu. So, but I'm going to go back to arrow. Now what you want to do is check to show all settings, and then go to menu look, and you want to choose no animation for the main menu, and you want to go down here to where it says fade speed and choose 0 for that. And now when you click on the Start menu, it won't like do that little fade out animation that's kind of like XP-esque, because Windows Vista doesn't do that. So if you want your system to look like Vista, you don't want that. Now you want to go to the Customize Start menu tab, and where it says Documents Library here, you want to change that to My Documents, and where it says Pictures Library, change it to My Pictures, and then do the same for the Music Library here. And this will point directly to the folders for your documents, pictures, and music, just like it does in Windows Vista, rather than the libraries for these items. And then you can remove the My prefix from each folder to make it even more like Vista, because Windows Vista didn't have the My prefix. So we'll get rid of that. And now you'll see, looks just like the Vista Start menu. You want to go to the Main Menu tab and uncheck Enable Jump Lists, because Windows Vista Start menu doesn't have those jump lists. So what jump lists are is they have those little arrows that stick out on the right of the programs that show up in your Start menu. And they show you, like, for example, if your web browser is pinned to your Start menu, it'll show you like your frequently visited sites to the right here. You want to get rid of that if you want it to look as much like Vista as possible. So now we're done with that. We're done with the Start menu. You can continue customizing it to your preference. For example, the control panel selection by default shows a menu here, so if you don't like that, you can always change it. But I'm just going to leave it like it is. So now what you want to do is go to Classic Explorer settings, and click on Show All Settings. Go to the File pane tab and select Show Sort Headers in All Views and click OK, because that is in fact what Windows Vista does. It shows the little headers here. No matter what view you've selected, it always shows that, which I prefer myself. So now you can go back to your transformation pack and go to the 7 copy animation modder and open this up. Click yes to accept the license terms. Go to the instructions folder and just copy and paste these colors where I've outlined to put them here in this instructions document. So color 2 is that, so we copy, paste, the color 3 is the same, and then the font color is this, so we'll copy and paste. And what this does, you can probably already tell, whenever you copy and paste items, you know it shows the animation. You probably don't notice it if you're copying really small files, but large files, it will show this file copy dialog, and Windows Vista uses a different color scheme, so this will change the color scheme in Windows 7 to match that of Vista. And this won't take effect until you reboot your system. And now you can navigate to Disable Auto Arrange, and you want to double click on Disable Windows 7 Explorer Auto Arrange. This will make your Windows Explorer look even more like Windows Vista. And now you want to go back to your Transformation Pack folder. And as you can see here, there's a Vista User Tiles folder. You can leave this where it is if you want to, or you can copy it elsewhere. But I'm going to copy it to my Windows folder. You can see there it is. And now what you can do is change your user tile. Click on change your picture here. So you go to start, click your user picture, and then it'll show up this page, and then you click on change your picture, and then click browse for more pictures, and you can go to that folder that you copied, or you can go directly to its location in your transformation pack if you want to keep it there, and scroll till you find it, Vista user tiles. And this is the default Vista user tile, the flower. That's what I'm going to select for this video. And now you want to copy over your Windows Vista wallpapers, so you can just click Control A, Control C, and then navigate to Computer, Local Disk, Windows, Wallpaper, or Web. I'm sorry, it's Local Disk, Windows, Web. If I can find that. Wallpaper. And then you can go to Windows here and just paste those wallpapers in here. And now if you visit the personalization panel, if you go to Windows Desktop Backgrounds, under Windows, it will now show all the Windows Vista wallpapers. You can select whichever one you want. So I'm going to select this one. And now you got to go back to the transformation pack again. And then you want to go to Send to Quick Launch. Double click on that and click OK. And now, whenever you right click on an item, you can go to the Send To menu, and then you'll see Quick Launch is now there. Now this is a little different from how it is in Vista, but it brings back the functionality that was removed in Windows 7, which is the purpose. So now you can send programs to the Quick Launch toolbar, and but simply by right clicking on them and going to the Send To menu, which is a lot easier than manually dragging them down there, which would be your only other option. So then you want to go to the optional folder and then go to remove pin to taskbar button, and this will prevent you from like accidentally pinning programs to the taskbar. So like this, you can see it's there and you have to unpin it. So this will remove that option, and as you can see, it's now gone. So after that, you can go to the Vista Screensavers folder, right click on each one and click Install. This will install all of the Windows Vista screensavers that were removed in Windows 7. And if they disappear, which they sometimes do, you might want to like copy this folder. If you plan on deleting the transformation pack later, you might want to copy this folder out and put it somewhere safe, so that way you'll have them on hand just in case they do accidentally get, like if they do disappear mysteriously, which they have done for me before. Anyway, With that said, with all this done, with what we've done so far, you can stop at this point if you're satisfied with your Windows Vista transformation. But what I'm going to do from here on out is I'm going to be replacing the Windows 7 apps, the built-in apps such as Paint and Calculator, with those from Windows Vista. So if you don't want that done, if you prefer the Windows 7 versions, then you'll want to stop here and just use this as it is, because this is probably the closest you can get to Windows Vista without digging into the system files very much, because this part can get complicated. And another thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting rid of Windows Media Player 12 in favor of Media Player 11, which is the default media player in Windows Vista. So if you want to stop here, if you're satisfied with what we've done so far, then that's fine. But now I'm going to be showing you how to get the Windows Vista built-in apps working in Windows 7. Okay, so now you want to navigate to the Vista Apps folder, and you can copy Windows Calendar. Just right click on it and click copy. Go to the start menu, go to computer, program files, and then paste Windows Calendar here. And I should point out that this is for 64-bit Windows only. I don't know if it will work in 32-bit. So I'm not responsible if you try this on a 32-bit system and it doesn't work. These programs, I don't remember if I pulled them from a 32-bit or a 64-bit Vista install. So if it doesn't work for you, I'm sorry. This is 64-bit only. Then if you get if you get an error that says this is not a valid Win32 application or something like that, that means that this is 64-bit only. So it's at your own risk. I don't have a Windows 7 32-bit installation to test, so I'm just doing this for 64-bit only. So anyway, after you copy the calendar folder to the program files directory, you can send it to the desktop and send it as a shortcut to your desktop and name it Windows Calendar. And then you want to go back to the program files folder, so I should have closed it like a dummy. And you want to take ownership of the Windows Mail folder. Take ownership of that. And then you can delete it. Click yes. And then you want to right click on Windows Mail here, right click on it, click copy, and then paste it into your program files folder. And then you can send WinMail to the desktop as a shortcut. Name it Windows Mail. And Windows Mail should open just fine, like it does in Windows Vista. Click no. As you can see, Windows Mail opens. Works just fine. You do get kind of like a little glitch there with the version number, but it doesn't affect functionality of the program. So you can go back to program files again, and you want to take ownership of Windows Sidebar. You want to go to Windows Sidebar x64. So in this case, you're provided with x86 files. So if you do have x86, aka 32-bit, you can use these files for Windows Sidebar, and that should work. But since I'm using a 64-bit system, I navigate to x64. Right click on the Windows Sidebar folder, click paste, and it'll prompt you to replace the folder, and you just want to say yes to all, continue, yes. And if it says that it can't be completed, just click skip. And now you should have the Windows Vista sidebar. You can just double click on it and add gadgets to it. And there you go, there's your Windows Vista sidebar. And you can go into the options and make it start on startup. And there you go, there's your Windows Vista sidebar. And now you want to go to DVD Maker and take ownership of that folder, in Program Files, and then right click on it and click Delete. Now keep in mind, if you're deleting these files, you cannot get the Windows 7 version of DVD Maker back, so you want to back that up. If you want to keep the Windows 7 versions of these programs, you want to back them up, so you can just simply rename their folders to like Windows Sidebar Old or DVD Maker Old, and then copy in the Vista version to get that. We'll click Continue, yes, paste it in. And now when you open DVD Maker from your Start menu, it should open the Windows Vista version, as you can see. And now you want to go to Accessories, and this will be replacing the Windows 7 WordPad. So you're in Program Files, go to Windows NT, Accessories, and you want to take ownership of the en-us folder and wordpad.exe. Take ownership of all those. Now remember, if you want to keep the Windows 7 version of these programs, back them up. So rename WordPad to WordPad Old or whatever you want to do. That's what I would do. Like just simply renaming the Windows 7 version to something else will keep it without replacing it. But if you want to replace it with the Vista version, and you don't care about keeping the Windows 7 version, so for reference, here's the Windows 7 version. We're going to be replacing it. I'm going to copy and paste in the Vista version. I forgot to mention this. For exe files, you'll have to manually take ownership of them. So you right click on the exe file, go to Properties, go to Security, click on Advanced, click Owner, click Edit, yes, and then click on your username here and click Apply and OK, and then go to go here, and you should see that administrators are allowed to replace them. But now you'll see we opened it up and it's the Windows Vista version. And if we launch it from our Start menu, it should open the Windows Vista version, as you can see. So now if you want to replace Calculator and Paint, you need to go to the Calc folder in the Vista Apps folder here. Go to Calc, and for System 32 there's Calc there. You want to go to Windows, System 32 over here, and find go to en-us and go to calc.exe.mui and take ownership of it. And then you want to find calc.exe and again, you'll have to manually take ownership of it again. So go to Security, right click, click Properties, go to Security, Advanced, Owner, Edit, yes, your username, Apply, OK, 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 and then click on your username, or click on Admin or whatever, your username -PC users, go here, just click on Users, click Edit, yes, and check all of them, click Apply, yes, OK. And now you can replace these files with the Vista versions. So I'll paste in calc.exe. So then you want to navigate to en-us over here, copy that to the en-us folder in System 32, and Calculator is now replaced. So if we launch it from our Start menu, you can see it launches the Vista version now. So now you want to do the same thing for Paint, except you just go to the Paint folder and you replace mspaint.exe and mspaint.exe.mui in the same location as you replace the Calculator files. So for the .mui file, you'll have to go to the system32 en-us and then find mspaint.exe.mui or .mui. So you take ownership of that. and replace it. Go to System32 and find mspaint.exe. And you want to take ownership of that manually. Now, when you open up Paint, it'll open up the Windows Vista version. And now you want to go to the Register DLLs folder and register the sidebar and DVD Maker. So you can open these up with Notepad and save them as .bat files, preferably to your desktop. Makes things easier. Just add the .bat extension on the end. Do the same for sidebar. Open it up, save as, register sidebar.bat to the desktop. Right click on each and click Run as Administrator. Okay. Okay, so that's done. Okay, now comes the more complicated part. This is replacing Windows Media Player 12 with Windows Media Player 11. The first thing you want to do is open services.msc. Scroll down to the bottom here and you'll find Windows Media Player Sharing Service, Network Sharing Service. Right click on it and stop. Click on stop to stop the service, because you'll have to do this before you can replace the Windows Media Player files or it won't work. So now you want to go back to Program Files again, take ownership of the Windows Media Player folder, right click on it and click delete. Now remember, if you want to keep Windows Media Player 12, rename it to something else. Don't delete it, just in case you ever want to go back to Media Player 12. But in my case, I don't want to go back to Media Player 12, so I'm deleting it. So then you want to go back to your transformation pack, go to WMP11, go to English, Program Files, and then copy Windows Media Player and paste it to the Program Files directory here. Then go to Program Files x86. Since this is a 64-bit system, I have that folder. Again, this is probably only going to work on 64-bit systems, but you can try. If you go here and actually, you know what, in the transformation pack there is an installer for 32-bit here, and I have tried it before in the past and it worked. I don't know if it still works or not. Like if you install all the latest updates for Windows 7, there is a possibility that one of those updates could have rendered this useless if it broke it somehow. But you can give it a try and it should work on 32-bit Windows 7 systems, but for 64-bit you have to manually do this. So go back here again, English, go to Program Files x86 and copy the Windows Media Player folder from there. And in the Program Files x86 folder, either rename or delete the Windows Media Player folder, depending on if you want to keep Windows Media Player 12. And of course you have to take ownership of it first. And I'm going to delete this file because I don't want Windows Media Player 12. And then paste in the Windows Media Player 11 files. So then you want to go to Windows, System32, and do the same over here. Go to your System32 directory and copy these files over to here, and you'll have to replace the Windows 7 version. So first, to do that, you'll have to take ownership of them. So I just search wmp.dll, take ownership of that. And what is the MUI file? wmplock.dll.mui. You want to take ownership of that. and wmplock.dll. Take ownership of that. And wmpps.dll. Take ownership of that. And paste these files into the system32 directory. Then go to the enus folder and paste in the wmplock.dll folder, or file rather, wmplock.dll.mui. Okay. So now you want to do the exact same thing except for the syswow64 folder. So wmplock.dll.mui, take ownership of that. Go back to your transformation pack, go to syswow64, and just paste those files in their proper location. So wmp.dll. There's a lot of clicking going on here. So you want to copy these files over, paste them, replace them. Again, back these files up if you want to keep Windows Media Player 12. I cannot stress that enough. I don't want people in the comments saying, well, I replaced the files and I want Windows Media Player 12 back. How do I get it back? I'm not going to help you, and I'm not going to feel sorry for you, because I've said 100 times already, do not delete the files if you want to keep Windows Media Player 12. Back them up, rename them to something different that you can remember. What I would do is just rename it to like wmpold.dll or wmp12.dll or something like that, so you know that those are the files that you want to restore. If you want to ever go back to Windows Media Player 12, back them up. I'm not going to say it again, back it up. So if you comment on this video saying, I deleted the file, I want Windows Media Player 12 back, I'm not going to respond. I'm just going to delete your comment, and I'm going to shadow ban you from my channel for not listening to what I said. Back them up. Okay. So now, you want to double click on media.reg here, and you'll get an error, and that is what is supposed to happen. So this is fine, it's supposed to happen. So now you want to go to the run dialog and open regedit, and you want to take ownership of the HKey classes root key here. So you want to right click on it and go to permissions, click on advanced, click on owner, and choose administrators if you are an administrator, which you should be if you're doing this, and check replace owner on subcontainers and objects, and then go to permissions, choose administrators, and check both of these options here and click apply. Yes. And if you get this error, you might want to do this a few times, because I've kind of found that it's better to do it a few times. Sometimes it takes a few times to get it to where it'll actually work, what we're about to do. Because we're going to have to run another registry file, and you shouldn't get an error when you run it. So if you get an error, just keep doing this, and eventually it should work. So maybe that will work. We'll give it a try. Being unresponsive here. I love Windows 7. Okay, then you go to, you should see, if you select administrators here, you should see that you now have full control and read permissions. So then you want to double click on patch.reg, click yes, and it says the keys and values contained in this folder have been successfully added to the registry, which means that what we did worked. If you get an error, if you get a red X here, that means you didn't successfully take permission of the necessary keys in the registry, and you just want to keep repeating what I did here to take ownership of those files over and over. Just keep doing it and keep running this file, and eventually you shouldn't get any errors. So after that, you want to go back to the Vista apps folder, go to register DLLs, and go to register media player x86 and save that file to the desktop as a .bat file. And do the same for the register media player folder. Okay, so now you want to run both of these as an administrator, and just click OK for each individual prompt that comes up. Do the same for this one. Okay, now you should be able to open Windows Media Player, and it should be Windows Media Player version 11. You'll see you'll get this prompt. Click Express Settings or whatever you want to do. Click Finish. And as you can see, Windows Media Player 11 opens just fine in Windows 7. And you can safely re-enable the Windows Media Player sharing service if you want to. And I will. So that's done. And we can play files with it. And now what you want to do is go back to your transformation pack folder and double click on Net Animate. This is optional. This is better if you have like a Wi-Fi connection, because you'll get the different network icon in the notification area. Since I'm hooked up to Ethernet, I get this icon. But if you want the Vista icon for your Wi-Fi, you'll want to install this program. And you want to run that animate, and you'll get this prompt, and you want to select this one here for the Vista icon. Click OK. As you can see, now you'll get the network icon animation like in Windows Vista, because Windows 7 removed that feature. So that restores that feature. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, after you do the Windows Media Player 11 modification, you'll get this weird language for your take ownership option. This is because the files for Windows Media Player 11 were provided by someone that speaks German. He goes by the name XReunion160 on the DeviantArt, and he is German, and he provided these files, so that's why you get that option. But it's very easy to restore it back to English. All you have to do is go back to your transformation pack and go to Take Ownership and remove it. Remove Take Ownership, and then run the install Take Ownership file, and then now you'll see it's back to English again. So now what you want to do is open Windows WL Installer and click Accept. Uncheck these options if you want to. Yes. And you want to just check Photo Gallery here and click Add to Installation. And what this will do, it is possible to run Windows Vista's Photo Gallery in Windows 7, but it's pretty broken. You can only view images with it. You can't actually use the gallery feature, so it's better to use this. It's Windows Live Photo Gallery 2008, and it's pretty much a nearly identical clone of Vista's Photo Gallery, and it works flawlessly on Windows 7. And you can set it as your default image viewer, and you don't have to replace any system files. So it's probably safer to use it, honestly. But seeing if I missed anything. Oh yeah, you want to also, we'll go ahead and finish this first. So Start Photo Gallery, you can click on that, and you should get a prompt. Yeah, so it'll say, would you like to use Windows Live Photo Gallery to open these types of files? You want to click yes. So now you have Windows Vista's Photo Gallery for the most part. It's pretty much the same. And now you want to install 7 Plus Taskbar Tweaker, so you want to go to your Transformation Pack folder and double click on this here. Click Next, Install. and finish. You'll probably get a prompt to update because this is an older version, but yeah, right there it is. But I'm not going to do that for this video because it's pretty much the same thing as this. So what you want to do is click on a standard window menu. What this will do is it'll get rid of the jump list in the taskbar. As you can see, we get that. If we select that option, we now get the standard window menu. And if you want to access your jump list, what you can do is just click down on the button on the taskbar, and it will, if you click on it and hold down and drag up, you'll be able to access your jump list if you need to. So say if you install a program and it gets pinned to the taskbar like this, like for example Google Chrome, if you install that, oops, well I can't pin it to the taskbar anymore because I removed that, but like if it got pinned to the taskbar like that, so you accidentally pin a taskbar to the, or a program to the taskbar, and you right click and you're like, oh no, how do I unpin it? All you have to do is just click down and drag up and click unpin, and there you go. So anyway, you want to remove extra gap between items, and keep the group by application ID, keep that default, and click on, when not grouping, place new items next to the existing ones, and then you want to click on hide the show desktop button, and pretty much I think that's it for in here. Okay, now this is the final step, and your Windows 7 to Vista transformation should be complete. Oh wait, no, actually there's one more thing after this. But anyway, go to right click, go down here in your notification area, and right click on the 7 Plus taskbar tweaker icon and go to advanced options. Scroll down to tray icons padding, double click over here on the 0 and choose 3 and hit enter. And as you'll see, your taskbar, your notification area icons are a little bit closer. That resembles Windows Vista. And also, another thing I forgot to point out is Windows Movie Maker is included in the Windows DVD Maker file. So what you can do is go to DVD Maker and then right click on movie mk.exe and then send that to the desktop as a shortcut, and name that Windows Movie Maker. Top. And then you can just drag all of these to your start menu, place them here. This is where Windows Vista had them. So now you have them. You can rearrange them to your preference. But as you can see, Windows Movie Maker opens now. There it is. You should be able to use it. And now this is the final step, and this is how to get the Windows Vista boot screen in Windows 7 if you want it. And I'll be providing the link for this in the description. There's a nice tutorial to follow. It's very simple to do. You just have to run a command, and so you want to go to this page here and scroll down till you see this command here. It'll say now run the following command. You want to select it, copy, go to your start menu, type in CMD, right click on CMD and click run as administrator, and then paste the command there, press enter, and now when you boot up your computer, it will show the Windows Vista boot screen. And now I'm going to demonstrate the modifications that would not be shown until after rebooting the computer, so I'm going to reboot it now. We'll restart. Alright, so there's the Windows Vista boot screen. It boots very quickly, so you don't have much time to see it, but that will appear on your system. And if you did everything correctly, if you go to System Properties, you'll notice that the Windows Vista style pane is now here, and it scrolls, or it scales with your window when you maximize it now. It's much better than the old one. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I covered everything. So now your Windows 7 system should run look just like Windows Vista not run, but it will look just like Windows Vista anyway. As you can see. And yeah, shout outs to Ann65001 for fixing the theme. He was able to bring the Windows Vista details pane back in Windows 7. That was gone for a long time because the old theme, it was just a white box here, so it looked really bad. So shout outs to him, and shout outs to 11 Ryan C for a lot of work that he helped me do on this project. If it wasn't for him, a lot of this wouldn't be possible. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you all for watching, and comment and rate and subscribe. And finally revealed my voice. For those of you all that were bitching at me about not revealing my voice, well, here you go. This is my voice. So hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys later. And I'm going to be making a tutorial like this for Windows 8.1 shortly, so stay tuned for that.